Hello to all the Atlanta United fans. My name is Jurgen Damm, and you are watching Scarps and Spike, an Atlanta United podcast.
I'm muted. Scarves and Spikes Match Review Podcast. As we look at Atlanta United's 3-1 loss to the Colorado Rapids at Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City, Colorado. Sydney here, Henry here, Tommy here. We have Tommy back with us. Tommy, it's been a while. I feel like we haven't had you on the show in a while. You've been on some escapades, but you're back. Welcome back, sir.
4 concerts in 6 days. My back hurts. My ears hurt.
Am I talking too loud for you? Or
I've spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of money on $15 beers. Like I would tell my wife, I'm like, all right, we have another one coming up here, so it's only 2 beers for you tonight.
Everywhere can't be Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah, you have to take out of your 401k to go to all these shows to be able to afford it. And then today we launched our new podcast, Battered Wrestling.
Nice.
Just throw it out there. But if you're a wrestling nerd, check it out. But yeah, I just told Tina before I came down, I go, I haven't been on this thing in forever. I'm excited to go back.
Atlanta United has not won a match since the last time you've been on. So not much has changed in that regard.
Yeah, it was a rough one.
Yeah. Henry, what's up with you? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, I guess. I mean,
about as well as you can.
Fortunately, yeah, about as well as one can be after watching whatever that was last night.
Yeah.
Because it was definitely not soccer. So, yeah, we're living through it. And, I was just watching the amazing San Jose San Diego game that was going on. And it got really dramatic at the end. So,
must be nice.
Yeah, no. Imagine having a team that knows how to play decent soccer. Couldn't be us.
I know. Weird. It's amazing. But it's not Atlanta United at this point, which is unfortunate. And of course, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. First, a little bit of housekeeping because it happened a little bit late in the match. Brooks Lennon coming off with his shoulder injury. And in case you all missed it, Ronnie Dyla saying after the match that he had no update. So I guess we'll figure out what that is later on in the week as the physios look at it and do their thing and see, hey, what's the extent? I know he's been taking a lot of flack, guys, from the fan base, but you hope it's not a serious injury. Maybe 1 or 2 are saying, oh, yes, he's injured, but don't be that. Don't be those kinds of fans.
Why did you do this really deep voice while saying that?
I don't know.
Is that like your evil guy voice?
I'm going to take over the world, and Brooks Lennon will never play soccer again.
Right? No, but don't be that fan. I not to say that I've seen it, guys, on social media, but don't be that fan that roots for injury. Hoping Brooks is all right. Hoping that it's nothing long term. Presumably, we would probably see Chunky over on the left hand side.
All you got left, man.
That's all you have left, exactly.
Unless you decide to move Ronald to the left and play Nick Sesek on the right, but
I mean that's a possibility. That's a good point.
But yeah, I would assume you would want to keep Ronald on the same side as Hernandez. Anyway, it looked like was it the same shoulder that he injured at the end of last season?
No,
wasn't it?
It wasn't.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's his other shoulder, according to Tyler.
Oh wow.
But, yeah,
shoulders. That's unfortunate.
Right. No, exactly. But yeah, when we know, you all will know the prognosis of what that is. But according to Ryan Diley, again, no updates as to what the situation is. It looked rather, innocuous. Didn't look like it was mud. I'll have to go back and take a look, but
honestly,
much.
It looked similar to the one that injured him against Miami in the sense that it was kind of like
Yeah.
they were grabbing onto each other a little bit. There was like a takedown and he landed kind of awkwardly. I got to go back and watch it, but it looked similar to that injury he sustained last season.
Yeah. Well, again, hopefully he's doing well. Hopefully, we'll get a promptly update on him, later in the week. But again, it didn't look pretty innocent. But you'll have to, like you said, Henry, go back to see what the situation is. So let's talk about the match as a whole.
No,
let's talk about something else.
We're kind of obligated. Well, yeah, we're kind of obligated to. It's a Lady United podcast. Win, lose, or draw. More losses these days, but let's go around the horn. Tommy, start with you. Overall impressions on what you saw from Lady United against Colorado Rapids.
Well, I was blessed to have my power out for about a lot of the first half. I did miss the goal, so I was able to see that. But still, a lot of things, just sloppiness on defense. And I've said this on Spaces a few times. I don't think I've had a chance to say it here. This transfer window is a unsexy window. When you look at, so think about it like in other sports. Like we'll go to the NFL because the Falcons will be starting up here in a couple weeks. When you think about like a draft or a free agency and you bring in guys, you're thinking of your quarterback, your wide receivers, the guys that are going to be on offense to do things. But then when they go and they draft an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman, people don't know really who these guys are because they don't get the big names, right? And people just start thinking, oh, okay, well, yeah, we got some guys and maybe they're good there. Well, here you have been trying to help your team defensively long term, which has been an issue for years. So when it's defensively, those names aren't going to usually be the ones that are making the smoke and fire happen at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They're the ones preventing the boos, very likely, though, because there's a goal being allowed. But it's not there because, the winter off season was the sexy window. You were bringing in guys that were supposed to be scoring goals. And that's exciting to fans. But here, you're trying to bring in guys to stop these silly mistakes and to be able to shore it up so that you could win a game 2-1. You could win a game 1-0. What was the last 1-0 Atlanta United game? I don't remember those. Heinze
When's the last time
I'm sorry,
Heinze clean sheet?
Frank DeBoer days, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like with this windows, like when you see these transfers coming in and you hopefully that they all can, like they starting these games here coming up here, is that's what you want to see, is that you're not you continue to make these dumb mistakes that you keep having, allowing these defensive breakdowns. And maybe you do win that game 1-0, or you win that game 2-1 or 2-0, whatever it is. You just know that defensively next year, you are not going to be, the top third or bottom third of the league in allowing goals. Like that's the problem that you don't want to run into here. And that's really how I just feel about this team, is like, I'm watching them offensively because like Alexei Miranchuk, like I haven't been on here forever. Like the guy, now that I'm on here, he's going to stop scoring goals because I haven't been on in a while.
I was going to say correlation or causation there. You got to figure out what it is.
Yeah, like he's been scoring goals. So like you have to shut up about it. It wasn't what he was brought in here for. He was brought in to help create goals. But if he's going to score on himself, sweet. But like that's like I want to see them obviously get better. I want to see our record striker score goals. But I don't want to see them allow 3 goals in a game. That's what I don't want to see.
By the way, last clean sheet was actually July 5th against DC United 0-0.
Oh gosh, don't even. Okay, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though, right? So just DC Atlanta, and Montreal are in like a 3-way contest for the wooden spoon. They are legitimately in the worst. Oh, all right, time to do some math. Let's pull some math, guys. Let's go to math class.
I was told there was no math. I'm out.
No, there's math, buddy. Sit your ass down. So here we are, August 17, 2025. Atlanta United has 22 points from 26 games. It's crap. It's horrible.
Oh, great.
You know who's like right behind them in 14th and 15th? Montreal and DC, both with 20. Okay. Now, Atlanta is 17 points back from 9th place, which is Chicago right now at 39. They
No
have
chance.
they have 8 games remaining. So a possible total of 24 points for Atlanta to make up a 17-point deficit. I was doing the math earlier. Atlanta could get eliminated from the playoffs as soon as in 2 games. Supposing that
Awesome.
Red Bulls and Chicago both win their games and Atlanta loses their next 2 games. We are potentially seeing this team eliminated from the playoffs with 6 matches to go.
This is where we're at. This is where we're at right now, guys.
So start the countdown because there's going to be a point very, very soon where it just doesn't matter. And like we've already been talking about it. The season's been over, right? It's over. Nothing's happening. They're not making it happen because now it's not just your results. It's not just a couple results going your way. We're talking about tons of results, dozens of results at this point going your way because you need several teams to just lose, and for you to win. And that's the big thing. This team rarely wins. They've won 4 games in the MLS regular season, 5 if you count that one Leagues Cup gimme win over Atlas.
Yep.
I don't trust them to win the games that they need to win because they've shown that they can't. So yeah, it really doesn't matter. And at this point, I'm with the crowd in this sense. The games don't matter. You're not playing for anything, right? There's no relegation battle. There's no playoffs for you. Play the kids. Play your future. Play your potential, right? Here's the thing. What did I see in this game? The thing that stood out like a sore thumb was Brad Guzan just showing his age yet again. He clearly, this has to be his last season. And I respect if decision day, DC at home, his last game for the club, you start him, you give him that game, great send-off for a club legend, right? Yeah. Your first number 1, the guy that has been here since season 1, won you trophies, captain through, the turbulent years, and gave you probably the most memorable moment since MLS Cup last season in the playoffs, right? Against Miami. Yeah. Send off for him, but in the other 7 games that are remaining, please give me Jaden Hibbert because he is the future. He is the succession plan for this club at the goalkeeping position. So give him some minutes. What is the worst that could happen? You have nothing to lose. So why insist on Brad Guzan is my thing. And give some of the other guys a run.
They're
out.
not eliminated yet.
They are, Tommy. See, here's the thing, though. They are mathematically. They're not.
You told me to do math. Damn it, they're not.
Mathematically, they're not eliminated. But we all know. Okay, Tommy. Do you think that they're making the playoffs? Let's start there.
I was the first one to say the season was over, and I was the one that got yelled at.
It's over, isn't it?
No,
I said that a month ago. I said it a month ago.
It really is. Recognize. Just let some of the other guys play. Let Dominic Chankwi play. Let Cam and Togashi play, for frick's sake, man. Give me something that I haven't seen. Give the fans something that they haven't seen. Because we have gotten most of the season what we're seeing right now. So why are we still insisting? It's the definition of insanity, is continuing to try the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So give the fans something different. Break out of that insanity. You're not making a difference anyway, but at least we get to see the potential future of this club and the players that are going to make the difference next season because they are coming up, right? That is what we're looking forward to. So give us that for the rest of the season.
I thought it was Guzan's worst game in a while. I mean, he's taken some flack over the past few weeks, past few months. I feel like undeservedly that one of his worst matches of the season against Colorado. You can see Henry, the age, really started to show. Definitely, I see that credit to him for what he did last season against Miami, last playoffs against Miami. But the age is showing it. He's 41, almost 41, or just turned 41. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I think, we've talked about in the past the amount of pride that Brad Guzan has in himself and his performances. And I would think he has enough pride to say, you know what, I'm 41 years old. It's time to let somebody else do the job. And that's, again, nothing to take nothing away from what he's done for this club. He's a club legend, for crying out loud. Like he said, Henry won MLS Cup, helped the team win MLS Cup. But I think you have to get to a point of realization that, hey, I'm not the goalkeeper that I was even last year, right? And it's time to hang up the cleats and move on to my next stage, whether that's broadcasting, whether that's coaching, just for the first time in what I would say 20 years, wake up in the morning and not have to worry about football the next day. I think Brad Guzan is definitely at that point. To Tommy's point, though, Tommy brought a good point. Yeah, they're probably just hoping for some miracle to happen to see them get into the playoffs. It's not happening. We all know it's not happening. That's my only theory as to why we keep seeing, the first choice lineup. Now, I'll say this, guys. I do want to see more of Alzate. I do want to see more of Berrocal. We'll talk about Berrocal a little bit later on. Definitely Alzate as well. I want to see more of them being new players to the team, being new to the roster, have them stretch their legs, help themselves integrate themselves into the team. Outside of that, I don't know what you gain by starting first choice players. I don't know what you gain by starting Tristan Muyimba, unless you're wanting to say, hey, do you really deserve to be here? Don't know what you gain by starting Sabo Lubjanitse, really. We have Luke Brennan, guys. As soon as Luke Brennan came into the match, a couple minutes later, he almost cost a goal. Mirachuk was in the way, but that sums up the season. Really sums up the season, really, for Atlanta United. Mirachuk just in the way of an open net for Muyimba. But, it's just, you don't really have a reason to. And outside of, you have a pretty much non-0.001 chance of making the playoffs at this point. It's probably why he's starting them. But outside of that, I don't know if it really makes sense to do that. What you got, Tommy?
What team does that in most leagues? Like, most teams just don't sit down and just say, I'm not starting like our guys anymore. Like, and it just doesn't happen much anymore in this league. I mean, most of these leagues have draft lotteries, so you don't. And I'm just talking about all sports, like, so that doesn't matter. But the NFL doesn't do that. And other soccer leagues. I mean, last year, Manchester United was shit, and they kept playing Bruno Fernandes every single game, and they slowly incorporated some youth in here. And look, I want to see Riley play on a regular basis. I want to see Luke Brennan play here. I think that they do start playing more time because absolutely, when you saw that Saba was starting on the left, I'm like, why? Why at this point? We know that this doesn't work. So again, it's August. So you still have September and all of October. I do think as soon as this team is officially eliminated, I do think that you see Luke on the regular basis and hopefully that you see Riley. If not, then it's another thing that I'm just questioning the entire front office and the coaching staff, that you aren't preparing yourself for next season. Now, they have mentioned that, they're trying to be ready for next year to do that. Well, if that's the case, then you need to know what you have. And that just goes back to the Hibbert talking and Riley and Luke here. But in the same vein, you still need to start Latte Loth. You need to get him moving. You need to get him to do something here. You can't just bench him for the rest of the year. Like, you're going to need to be able to play these guys and hope that they can get some type of rhythm, some type of understanding on where each other are. But it's just right now, you still got a lot of moves that you need to be able to do. Like, everything that they've done in this window isn't close to what they need to do. They need to go get themselves a starting left winger there. I understand that Luke Brennan's good, but like, Luke Brennan should not be the starter next year. He should not. Right. He should be a good depth piece, and you don't trade him. I repeat, Garth Logway, you do not trade him.
And Chris Henderson.
Henderson, all the see all the above,
dude.
See all the above.
Toronto.
You can't, like, I understand that, like, Atlanta does not like playing the kids long term here, but like, he's a guy that you could definitely tell that could be a good depth piece here and a spot in starter when needed. Like, that's fine for there. But man, it's like you said, like you see in the chat, and like, we had the watch along channel in our Discord, which was popping. I came in at halftime. I mean, there was, I think, 7 of them in there, just like all watching, and like, just give us something watchable. That's all we really want. And like Henry, when you said that, like, coming in, that was like a late game there. Like, that's what you want. You want at least to see a team improve. and a team that maybe has something going, creating scoring chances. It's just not there from this team. And look, the Ronnie Dial, I think the when I said this team was done a while ago, it was still very mixed on what they should do with him. But man, I mean, it's just getting louder and
Yeah.
louder. And there was just random thought because talking about possibly fired coaches, Heinze
Right.
was shown during the Manchester United Arsenal game. Didn't even have the sound on, and I just looked up. I go, I know that guy. Where do I know that guy from?
He looks familiar.
I just really
Was he-
wish he would have pulled up a water bottle and just
Right.
started drinking out of it. That's what I was really hoping for. That's the type of content
go.
Atlanta United fans need.
Didn't Chris
Full on
Armas
trolling.
wasn't Chris Armas like an assistant at Man United for
I
a
believe
little bit
so.
before
Yeah.
he came back to coach Colorado? Maybe that's what maybe Heinze needs some experience under what's his name? Mikel
Amorim.
Arteta. Before coming back here so that Atlanta can finish second
Yeah.
in the Supporter Shield.
It's like a theory. Hey, it might work at this point.
I hate this timeline so much. I just hate everything about this timeline.
Heinz is going to come back as the hero that Atlanta United needs as a
Right.
manager in a few years. You just wait and see. He will
Vindication.
come back and he'll realize the value of water.
High quality H2O. Guys, Moranchik scored again. So that's good news, right?
Alexi Moran clutch. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, what is it now? 6 goals in his last 8 games or something like that. Yeah, that's one heck of a run. I only wish that it had occurred to him to score sooner, a little bit earlier in the season. Would have been nice for him to start his scoring, because then maybe there's a chance that Atlanta isn't in this exact situation. But hey, it's happening now. I think at the very least, this gives him some value if you're really looking to move him on, right? I don't know about keeping him for next season because he hasn't shown to be consistent, and he's been here for a year and a half. Obviously, you feel that he wants to do his best for the club, and you feel that he has some passion right there, and he really wants to win. But I don't know that I'm necessarily convinced. Obviously, for this season, you don't drop him for the important games. If you have him, you're playing him. But if you can get something for him, I mean, you bought him for $13 million. You take a loss and maybe sell him at 10, 9,
or break even.
I think you take that money and run.
Yeah, I'll just kind of jump in on that too. I mean, I kind of wrote it in the notes here, but you hope that I agree with you. Wish we had seen that earlier this season, but while he needs to contribute the entire match, it'd be nice for his teammates to back him up. He doesn't have a good team around him, and he's doing what he can, and it's good to see. And hopefully, if he does return to Atlanta United in 2026, right now there's no indications that he won't. But if any DP is sold off in the winter, it would definitely be him. You're not going to part ways with Almiron. You're not going to cut your losses on Latte Lot after one season. So if Chris Henderson is really looking to make a change and part ways with the DP, it's definitely going to be Moranchuk. But again, it's good to see him scoring these goals, if not to build value for himself on the transfer market for the winter. But it's good because if he comes back next season, at least he has that confidence. At least he comes in and saying, hey, I went on this nice little run to end the season in 2025, even though the team wasn't playing well. I got to get started. I got to be going from the start instead of waiting until the last part of the season, because didn't we see him later in the season last year kind of catch fire? So, I mean, outside of the times where he wasn't really as good, but like I'm with you, Harry, you definitely want to see consistency, but what I want to see more than anything is if he is back in 2026, which I feel like he might be, though. But if he does come back, at least he can look back at the end of the season and say, you know what, I really proved that I belong. I really proved that I can produce at the MLS level. I learned that I learned about myself that I can produce in this league. now I have something to prove. Now I can really prove to the fans and prove to myself that I can contribute at a more consistent level. So I think that's where he's at. That's where I'm at with Moranchuk. It's good to see. And hopefully more to come in 2026, right as soon as the season starts, not with 10, 15 games left when you're pretty much out of the playoff race.
Does it take someone a year to figure out MLS? I mean, there's been players that have been, because it's
Yeah.
a full year. It's just about a year now that he came in and has been trying to um he's struggled throughout this period on and off, but I mean, you're
Yeah.
obviously getting what you want from him. A little bit different of what you wanted, though, because he was just supposed to be setting up Saba. He was supposed to be setting up Miguel with the occasional goal here and there. That'd be great, but he's doing it himself. And I would be interested as we continue to get MLS announcers on this season is to ask them what they think about him now. The ones that are the repeaters that came on in the first 4 to 5 weeks going, what exactly does Moranchuk do here? Because that was the question everybody was asking. And
Like
look,
Office Space.
yeah, well, that was exactly where I was going with it. But like, I watch Twitter, and it's just what sports are at the moment. They come in, they go, "Oh, look at all the Moranchuk haters," and they have Henry's picture posted on a milk carton, going, "Oh, where's Henry right now talking about Alexi?"
Hanging up in
And
the locker room.
yeah, and I chimed in on that. I said, if you're comparing what he is doing right now to what he was doing in the beginning of the season, where a lot of the games you did not even hear about him. Like he was just completely invisible in these
Yeah.
games. So he's doing something now, but I'm interested to see like if we get Dax back on or we get Parkhurst back on, who obviously talked very high of him, but just saying like we need to figure out what he does. I'm interested to see because again, he's doing something a little bit different than what we thought he was going to. Do they think that he needs to return next season? Because he's your main talking point. I see in the chat people talking about, Miguel Almiron.
You don't move him.
Right. You can't move him. Look,
I don't
you
think you
just
can,
can't.
Yeah.
You can't because that is the worst PR move you could do in the world. Look, you are setting. I'm not even talking about the players, guys. Let's just ignore the player part of this. You need to understand that you brought back this guy. You had crying people at the airport, so excited that this man was back.
Yeah.
You had probably he was a top 3 or whatever 4 jersey seller when they were showing like the numbers, whatever it was. You took everybody's money for this jersey. You can't let him go unless you do like a Williams type deal and he wants to go home and play there. You aren't getting rid of him.
That's the only reason, yeah.
Yeah, and Latte Lath isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
You put him on loan. I mean, that looks absolutely terrible to do that. Like you aren't going to have a lot of a movement. But like you said, if you're trying to change the team in a big way, it probably is Alexi that is the one that you would have to go to move to really change that. Maybe you want to make the midfield faster, right? And get an old school Miggy number 10 there that can move fast and counter there. Because Alexi's not fast. Then maybe that is the move that you need to do. Maybe it's that you're not moving him just because of that. You're moving because you need to change the style that you want to play. And
Or do you move Miggy to the 10? If you absolutely can't move Miggy, right?
I hear the haters already joining.
No,
the chat.
I know. But if we are doing that, right? If we are talking about, okay, Alexi is moved in the winter and you have a DP slot open. Well, Miggy has said a lot about how he plays better at the 10 and he tries to go central every single time. And I think, maybe you kind of give him what he wants because you're stuck with him. What else are you going to do? I mean, you can't transfer him. No one's going to pay $8 million in salary for him, right? No one's going to take that contract. It again, like y'all said, it's a terrible PR move. If they sell Miguel Almiron after just being back for a year. And again, I mean, winning might be the best PR, but I don't know. I feel like you need to try Miggy at the 10, let him prove himself there because centrally, he has done some good things. He has found some penetrating passes in some games. He has made some magic happen, and he is faster than Moranchuk on the ball. A little bit more creative, I think. So I would give him the shot there and then potentially use that DP slot to get yourself another winger. If you are committed to Saba and, you're going to have him have him start on the right, and then get yourself a DP left winger.
Yeah.
If you are not committed to Saba and you're trying to figure something else out, then figure it out from there. But just we're talking about a bunch of hypotheticals here because this all hinges on Moranchuk getting sold or whatever. But yeah, if it comes to it and you have Miggy on the roster, you might as well try him at the 10 if you're not going to have Moranchuk. That's what I would do, at least. Not go and get another DP 10 because then you have Miggy stuck on the wing again.
Right.
Put Miggy back at the 10.
Yeah. And again, hypothetical, we'll see at the end of the season as the team assesses where they are. Garth Lagerwey said a few months ago, all the DPs are safe. Does Chris Henderson? I'm sure. Hold on, Tommy. I'm sure Chris Henderson
Tommy's fighting
is
the demons.
No, I'm sure Chris Henderson I'm sure Lagerwey is kind of in conversation with him. Hopefully, he gets better soon, Lagerwey. But hopefully, Chris Henderson can look back. Or what I'm trying to say is, what does Chris Henderson share that sentiment? Does he kind of look back and say, you know what? We're not better off with all three of these guys. Let's move one. And to your point, Henry, bring in somebody hopefully that can elevate the team. I don't think that's Almiron at this point. It certainly isn't Latte Lat. So Moranchuk is your best bet, I think. Again, we're talking hypotheticals, but I think that's where we are right now. Are you trying to say something, Tommy? Or
I hate when they say that everything is safe. I don't like that because if you are saying that everything is like the DPs are safe or Ronnie Dyla is safe, because we've had more of that conversation as opposed to the players. But if you're saying that things are safe, one, like anything can happen. Nobody thought that someone was going to call for Pity Martinez and offer you a bunch of money to let him go.
Sure.
You do not know what can happen in any sports league at any time. Luka Doncic, we woke up and people that were up at 2 a.m. were going, holy shit, Luka Doncic was traded.
Right.
And everyone's like, how? There's no way this is real. Anyone could call for a player at any single time. So saying stuff like that is absolutely insane to me.
Well,
it's got to be management 101, like sports management 101. You just don't say stuff like that. And so there's that. And then the same with Ronnie Dyla. Like that upsets me as a fan. Okay. Just being perfectly honest with you. If you say right now at this point, everything is, he's fine. He's safe next season. And you go on a MLS record losing streak and you're telling your fans that, yes, he's coming back next year, because that's all people are going to bring up the entire time. Well, we're on an MLS losing streak, but good thing that Chris Henderson said that Ronnie is safe until next season. Like, these are just bad things to say as a leadership group because you just don't know what's going to be. And I understand you could say, I have faith in Ronnie to get this team pushed around. That is perfectly fine. But when you get in and tell that people's jobs are safe, as a fan, I think to myself, things could get way worse than what it is. And they are saying to us, and I know that they lie, I know, and that things can change, but you still just don't say that.
Sure, but I mean, you can see why they say it, though, right?
No, but you don't have to say,
about
but
it.
that's my point. You don't have to say that. You could just say, I believe in him. And you could be shaking your head no at the same time. Like a hostage situation. Like you could say that
fingers
stuff.
crossed behind your back.
You could, yeah, exactly. Have the fingers crossed. Anything here. Like that. But when you say that it's safe, it just says to me as a fan, like, what? It's gonna get worse from here. And like someone compared this on one day when I was on Spaces to the LA Galaxy situation there, because they signed him to an extension, which is technically even worse than
oranges.
This is.
That's apples to oranges, though.
Well, exactly. He showed that he won this team a championship.
Oh.
He had missing 2 DP players. That is completely different than what this situation is. You got a coach that hasn't given you anything. You've had some of these DP players that haven't been producing. I mean, we've seen some people go in and out of this league pretty quick. So all of this said, you're basically saying, like, we're not fixing we're not, no matter what happens, we're not changing the biggest pieces of this team. And it's just crazy to me.
Yeah. And again, I'll just go back to, you can see why they said it. And yes, things can change between the point you say it and the end of the season. But you can sort of see why. I'm not saying it's the right decision, but you can sort of see why. Do we want to talk
Is this
about
the
Scarves?
most penalties we've allowed in a season?
I don't know.
I don't even know, man.
Does
I
it
don't
feel
have
like
Probably.
it?
Like every game at this point, yeah. There's a penalty against. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
It's weird.
Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later,
Sorry.
especially with
It's just in my head.
Yeah. Scarsandspecks.com is where you can find our coverage of Atlanta United, recaps, previews, player ratings, all that good stuff. So go there, click on the store. We can purchase merchandise, Scars and Spikes merchandise, shirts, hats, coffee cups, glasses, the whole 9 yards. That helps support our coverage, helps us do a lot of great things. Patreon.com/Scarves and Spikes. Tommy mentioned the Discord earlier. All 3 tier levels on Patreon gets you access to the Discord. So you can chat with us, chat with other Atlanta United fans, chat about other stuff other than Atlanta United.
Watch-alongs.
Watch-alongs as well.
It's hot
Yeah,
right now. It's hot.
Yeah, absolutely. So Patreon.com/Scarves and Spikes. Go there, support us there, and get access to our Discord. And of course,
Join
follow
before
us.
midnight, and Henry and you get 1 coupon for Henry to come clean your bedroom. But you have to join
I
by
don't know
midnight.
about selling my services like that.
Selling your soul, just your services.
Let's not.
But join
do
by
that,
midnight.
Actually, don't
Feel
listen
like-
to Tommy, guys.
Yes. Join anyway. Join anyway. Ignore Tommy. But no,
They
but
usually do anyways.
right. No, but Patreon.com/Scarves and Spikes. Scarves, the letter N, Spikes on X, scarvesandspikes.com on Blue Sky, Scarves and Spikes everywhere else, Instagram, Threads, Facebook. Like, subscribe, share our content on YouTube. If you're watching there, we're live Sunday nights, Wednesday nights, Monday nights. Join the chat. Join us there. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeart, or watching this podcast after the fact. And by the way, we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeart. Join us there. Subscribe, leave a review, leave a rating. Let us know how we're doing. We definitely appreciate your feedback. Juan Berrocal, we saw him against the Rapids, his first extended action against the Rapids, and it wasn't great. Gave up a free kick in a really good position, conceded a penalty. I mean, stonewall penalty. I mean, not a good audition for the man from Getafe on loan. I guess that's the good news, right? He's on loan. But yeah, we mentioned coming in, this is kind of a dress rehearsal for him. And if it doesn't work out, you have the ability to just send it back to Getafe. You of course have Mihai. You of course have Gregerson, who's starting to get back to 90 minutes fitness. I think it was his first match or back-to-back matches Stylo is talking about. Gregerson playing 90 minutes. So that's good to see him getting his fitness back. Berrocal is in there to hopefully become part of that center back pairing, or maybe that back three. And his first extended action against the Rapids. Pretty unfortunate. Don't know if it's just jitters of a new league. Don't know if what we should expect from him moving forward, but if you're Juan Berrocal, you definitely want to give yourself or make a better account of yourself, give a better account of yourself. And he didn't quite do that against the Rapids, I don't think.
Is that a hat? What's the hat trick for a defender?
Right, exactly.
In there, allowing a high quality free kick, causing a penalty. You
Own
made an
goal.
own goal.
Yeah.
The only thing that could have made
There
it
you
better
go.
for him.
Darn.
Right. Just missing that part of the equation there. For
Guys.
Yes, sir.
Is 2 games a sufficient sample size?
No, it's not. But
Okay. And because here's the thing, right? I understand. Yeah, he wasn't great in this game, and he was actually one of my followers for my column this week. But
spoiler.
I'm not in the oh my gosh, he's a terrible signing camp quite yet. I don't think that you could say that. I think he in the first game showed some very good things, and in this game he showed some weaknesses, to say the least. Everyone, I think, has a bad game. And how many bad games have we seen from Derek Williams? How many bad mistakes have we seen from Stian Gregerson or from any other amount of defenders that Atlanta has had before? even good defenders in this league have bad days. And that's not to say that I think that he is going to be, yes, he is definitely the guy, the starting center back or whatever, or he is an amazing. No, I think that he has good qualities. I think that he should get at least some more chances, and he's going to get some more chances the rest of the season, I believe. But I want to see more of him on the ball because he's shown an ability to pass, and he's shown an ability to, cover good spaces on defense. And I think, you didn't see those qualities in this game to the extent that you saw them in the first game. And I just want to kind of reserve judgment a little bit before we start shipping him back off to Spain. I just kind of want to see him the rest of the season and see which one was the exception. Was the good game an exception? Was the bad game an exception? And then go from there. Because Chris Henderson, I know people are tired of hearing Chris Henderson his plan in the front office, and y'all are getting ready with pitchforks to go raid the training ground. But we saw that he has a plan for the center back pairing, right? It's, they got Barakal with Mihai in mind as a long-term center back pairing. Obviously, Barakal's alone. If he doesn't work out, he's gone at the end of the season. But I think there's more to the picture that we're not seeing. So let's give him a chance. Rest of the season, if he's absolute garbage, I will agree with y'all. Send him back to Getafe. Give him the receipts. Do not exercise the purchase option. But let's just keep an open mind, guys, because I think there is some good in him.
But you can see why fans are a little,
absolutely. It was a bad penalty to give away.
Overreactive. Well, I mean, look, we're overreactive because the team sucks. We're sick of seeing sad things. We're sick of seeing bad play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, you're right, Henry. People need to give, everyone here a chance. The only one that you should be yelling at is if by next month these guys aren't starting on a regular basis, because then you brought these guys in and you're not even seeing what they can do. That's the only thing you could be upset about with these players. And it's really just the front office instead. They need as much playing time as possible.
And if this team is still conceding like 3-4 goals a game, and obviously something's gone horribly wrong, because this transfer window was literally spent reinforcing your defense. You got 2 center backs and a defensive midfielder as your main signings. Like, if you're still conceding this many goals, that caveat, that aren't clearly like goalkeeper things, because I feel like at least 2 of the goals they conceded last night were kind of on Brad. at least the last one. But I feel like that penalty could have been saved by someone with a little bit more reaction. How do you? I don't even know how that happened. Like, he gets to it and it's still kind of like deflects in. Was it like going in with too much power? I don't know. But my case is, there has to be an improvement for us to consider this. Let's give them a chance to show that improvement. And then we'll see it even more once they get starting minutes, because that's going to be the real test. Can these center backs, and plus Steven Alzate, go 90 minutes and hold a game, right? Keep a game low scoring, so that Atlanta, with its issues up top, can potentially hold on to results.
What do you guys think about Alzate, by the way? I thought he was okay. I thought he showed well in the brief time that he came in. I mean, the jury's still out on him. Of course, he hasn't played significant amount of minutes, but obviously he and Barakal got their visas, so they were clear to play against the Rapids. And yeah, I thought he did okay. Want to see more of him before you make a judgment, just like want to see more of Barakal before you make a judgment of him. But yeah, from what I saw from him, it was decent. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's just, like you said, it was short appearance. You really need, especially like a 2-3 game starting. Like, that's what you need. And with the partner that they plan on keeping them with, you know what I mean? Like, you just need it, because then you gotta gel together. And sometimes like some of the plays that happen isn't because you're not good. It's because you just don't know what the other guy next to you is doing, what your partner's doing there. So your goal here is to find your starting center back pair for 2026. That's really the goal here, and to start at least getting some improvement on what you want in the midfield and what you need to improve in the midfield there. That's really it. So I'm not going to judge any of these guys until I know, like, okay, who's starting next to Gregerson back to back to back to back. if Gregerson's remains healthy as well.
Yeah, right.
But like if that happens and you see the same two guys start 4 weeks in a row, that's where I'm really going to start saying like, okay, now going forward, this is the combo that they want to walk into. Let's see how they do.
Yeah. And just real quick, Henry, before you jump in here, you got to think about where does Alzate fall in. You have, of course, Leash, who is in pen in your starting 11. You have some question marks around what his partner will be, who his partner will be. Will it be Muyimba, who's out of
No.
form right now?
Sorry,
Well,
I'll answer that for you right now, Sydney. He is not the starting center midfielder. I'm sorry. He had 3 terrible games in a row.
Yeah, but here's
this game,
right?
And he comes on as a sub. Actually, doesn't have a terrible game. Just doesn't miss a tap in. Has it blocked by his own teammate,
right.
Which is unfortunate because that I guess would have redeemed him a little bit. But yeah, I think we've seen enough of the Tristan Muyimba show.
But what I'm saying is, that position is in flux. So you have Muyimba, you have Riley, who's done pretty well, but he's still young. Then you have Alzate. So I feel like Alzate
and Jay Fortune
when he returns. So I feel like you have a big discussion to have around that midfield. Fortune was in terrific form before decent form, I should say, but he was very much more informed than Muyimba when he got injured. So you have him, you have Riley, you have Alzate. Muyimba sounds like he's the odd man out, right? I feel like at some point you're gonna have to say, you know what, we're done, and he has to go. And I feel like the team will find a willing transfer partner, whether that's in France, maybe they did something like that, or somewhere else. I think Muyimba is on his way out. But my entire point was, where does Alzate come into that pecking order? Is he good enough to start? I feel like eventually the plan is to have him start. But with that being said, what do you do with Fortune? Because Ronnie Dyler has said, you know what? I want these younger players to be a part of this team. That being said, you traded Morales to Montreal. You lent Cobb to the Rapids, presumably to get him more playing time that he wouldn't get in Atlanta, as he brought in more center backs. So I'd be interested to see what that looks like. Where does Fortune fall into that? Because you bring in Alzate, that's a question that you have to answer. I feel like you'll get an answer at the end of the season when you have a lot of decisions to make. What else stood out to you guys? I'm trying to think what else. We talked about Guzan. We talked about Moranchuk. We talked about the midfield. Defensively, Mihai, I think it was good. Mihai has continued to put in some good performances. I think what you needed is sort of that stability at the center back position. That being said, of course, he gave up 3 goals. Maybe, obviously, the defense wasn't at its best, but I think, Tommy, you're kind of alluding to it. You don't hear too much about the defenders unless they screw up or do something really, really good. And you kind of liken that to the offensive lineman. If your quarterback is sacked, I'll see OL sucks and get him off the team. You don't hear that unless, they do something bad. And I feel like that's the same with the defense. Left wing, again, Luke Brennan almost assisting on a goal that, we mentioned Moranchuk was in the way for. I feel like, we already talked about it with Luke. You need a starter at that left wing and to bring him in as a depth piece because he's sort of proven he has what it takes. Maybe his decisiveness needs some help as he gets older, as he rounds into form more. But I like, again, what I see from Luke. What do you guys think?
100%. I want to see more. I want to see. That's all I want to see on the left here. Saba is my guy. So don't anybody come back and say like I'm trashing Saba here, but it's very obvious that he's not going to be on this team next season. The more and more I look at this, if he's still on this team next year, I've definitely got some issues with them understanding the asset allocation that you're using with your money here because it just doesn't make sense. So if he's not going to be there, there's one guy that's going to be there, and he should be getting 75 to 90 minutes. He's young. He's going to be able to play. You get him in as many minutes as you can, because that's how you develop a player. We've seen so many of these kids come up and they don't have an opportunity to grow on this team.
Right.
A lot of times they're just sitting on the bench, getting the casual call down to the twos to get some help here. Last year, Fortune had the opportunity to continue to start, to get that playing time. You saw what became of him. You've seen other plays. You've seen Jackson Conway,
Yep.
right? I mean, you saw him, who had a very high future. Now, I don't know if it hurt, but like him just having to be the guy sitting behind Joseph Martinez at
Yeah.
that time, and he's not
Brandon
getting a lot of time.
Vasquez.
Yeah, I mean, you see these guys, and it can hurt their development here. You have a real chance to get, in a rare opportunity for Atlanta United, to get your young player as much playing time as he can handle until the end of the season. And if they don't take advantage of that, that is a major problem with the entire front office.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is like
sure.
your preseason, right? For 2026. It's your audition for some of these guys, because you still have several contracts that are expiring at the end of the season, and you still have those decisions to make, right? I think some of them are going to end up being easy decisions, but
Right.
some of them are a little bit harder, right? Both Togashi and TRA have contracts running out. I'm certain you're keeping at least one of them. I don't know if you're keeping both of them. That's a question that they have to look into.
Yeah.
You're getting Jay Fortune back, which is great. Now you're going to have several options in midfield, like you just said, Sydney, right? And that's
Right.
something else that you got to measure. There's just a lot of questions that we have, and players that need to show that they can continue to be good for this team, and they can be part of the long-term project. And I think that's what, these next 8 games, for me at least, they are kind of that preseason for next season, where young players, untested players, they're going to get their minutes, they're going to get their chances to show that they can be part of this team, and that they deserve more chances in 2026. So yeah, I'm just interested to see, hopefully, them giving these guys a chance, because really, again, and I'll repeat it, and I'm going to keep saying it, these games don't matter. The results don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
They haven't mattered for a while now, because
Who slides in it anyway?
yeah, I mean, if you were in a relegation scrap, this would be an entirely different story, but there's not even relegation to escape from. So you've got nothing to lose. Play some of these guys that haven't played a whole lot. Give them a chance to hold on to that. I just remembered Nick Sesek, I think, is only on the contract until the end of the season. Give him some more time. See what he's got. And potentially...
Is he 50 years old?
25. Close enough.
25.
Like that movie, what's the movie where they go back to high school?
13 going on 30.
Yeah, well,
Is that the one
that's
you're
actually a
talking
great
about?
one. Yeah, sure. I will.
Never mind.
21 Jump Street.
Oh, yeah,
those movies
yeah.
where they do
Yeah.
that. Never
All right,
been
you know
kissed.
what?
All that. Like, I like this guy go.
All right. The case in point, giving Nick Sesek some chances, and maybe you don't need to go and get yourself a depth right back, because you have him, and you just need to get a starter, right? So these are kind of the things that are I think going through the front office's mind as they prepare for next season, because I think they're also kind of in that mode a little bit. But yeah, also Atlanta United 2 beat Carolina. What is it? Crown Legacy.
Or
Carolina Crown Legacy, and officially have more league wins than the first team.
Oh, wow. Well,
good job,
congrats to
Twos.
the Twos. Well done, gentlemen. I think Patrick Weah scored against Crown Legacy, who are a really good team last year in MLS Next Pro. I don't have the standings in front of me right now. I don't know where they are.
It's not good. They are like 13.
No,
they're exactly like the first team.
Crown Legacy, opposite of Crown Legacy, opposite of what Charlotte FC are doing. But yeah, congrats to the Twos beating Crown Legacy FC at Fifth Third Stadium in Kennesaw. Atlanta United will be playing on Sunday against Toronto FC in the mid-off, guys. Exciting times at the Benz. 4 p.m. kickoff. We'll talk about that on Wednesday, live on YouTube, 7 p.m. So join us there. Again, we're Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeart. Leave a review there, rate us there, subscribe, let us know how we're doing. 5 stars, please give us 5 stars. We do appreciate it in advance. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you can watch the show anytime you want. Just rewind, watch it on demand. We do want you to join us live, but Tommy is doing hand motions. So is Henry. I'm a little confused right now, but yeah, you can obviously watch the show anytime you want on YouTube. We're live 9 p.m. with our Match Review podcast, 9 p.m. Mondays for MLS Monday, and then Wednesday, 7 p.m. for our midweek podcast. Tommy, where are you on social media?
I'm everywhere, baby.
Okay.
We're almost at the end, by the way.
I'm so happy. Tommy ATL 96.
Henry.
H.A. Higuita everywhere.
I'm SH Rights on X, shrights.bsky.social on Blue Sky, SidH.soccer on Instagram and Threads, Scars and Spikes, Scars the letter and Spikes on X, scarsandspikes.com on Blue Sky, Scars and Spikes everywhere else, Instagram, Threads, Facebook. That is it for us.
All right, I can't hear y'all.
I hear you.
Oh, okay.
No,
Cool.
you guys stopped talking for a minute, and
No, but I could see y'all's mouth moving. I just couldn't hear you. So I don't know if I missed something important.
there was at this point of the witching hour. There's nothing important to really come out of any of our mouths.
That's fair.
Here. I just want to see a win before the season ends, and Toronto could be it, but they just drew the Crew.
Did they?
Yeah, it was 1-1. They
Oh,
tied it in like
right.
the 70th minute. So, yeah, bring your poutine and your Labatt, and we will talk to you on Wednesday. Eh?
Hey.
I'm going to be in Toronto. My wife and I will be in Toronto in October. We're not watching a Toronto FC match, but we'll be there.
Go to the Hockey Hall of Fame. It's cool.
We might check that out. Yeah, that's a good shout. It's a good shoot, if you will.
All right.